get into these all-star selections. If anybody in the chat wants to give their all-star selections, go ahead. But let's start with the East starters. I'll start with my starters, then CJ will go with his starters. For the East, I got Donovan Mitchell as a guard, and I got LaMelo Ball as a guard. For the forwards, I got Jason Tatum, I got Giannis Antetokounmpo, and I got Karl Anthony Towns.
Yeah, I got the exact same, legit the exact same. Donovan, LaMelo, Tatum, Cat, and Giannis.
Donovan Mitchell, in my opinion, yes, his stats have been down, but his stats going down is the reason why they are a top seed in the East. And it is fan vote, and fan votes do like what the play of Donovan Mitchell. So I have no problem with that. He's still having a good year overall.
Mm-hmm.
But it's just the fact that he's still playing good and that they're up so high. He deserves it. The same with LaMelo. LaMelo Ball, yes, the team is not winning, but when it comes to fan voting, they love to see a guy basically averaging 35 and 8. They love that. And he has been killing. And I said it like a month ago. I said you can argue LaMelo has been the best guard in the East. You could argue it like he has. You can argue he's been better than Mitchell, Dame, Garland. You can argue it. So I do, and Trae Young and Jalen Brunson, you can argue it. So I have LaMelo as a guard. Jason Tatum is self-explanatory. Man averaging 27, 9, and 5. Second best record in the East and third best record overall. He does everything for that team. So why not? And Giannis is having an MVP year. He's averaging 31, 12, and 6 on 60% field goal pursuits. And the good thing is he's not taking threes. He knows his game. He go get to the hole. He go fight. He go rebound. He go play some defense. Giannis deserves it. And the last guy is Cat. Cat had a really great season for the Knicks, man. That's the reason why the Knicks are third in the East. Cat has been on a rebound and tear. He's shooting 43% from the three, 56% from the field. He's been amazing for the Knicks. And that's why they're so high up. 25, 14, and 3. Cat deserves to be a starter in the East, man. He deserves it.
Yeah, and then with Joel Embiid being out, and so that helps as well. Yeah, I really don't have anything. You said everything for them. Only thing I would change though is Donovan Mitchell. Like if Donovan Mitchell, like don't get me wrong, he deserves it. I'm not saying he doesn't. Especially because they're a top seed. That's one of the reasons why they're a top seed in the East because he sacrificed his numbers and for the betterment of the team. But even if he was like a top 3, I still think he would have made it. But if they were like 4 or 5, I don't think he would have made it because he hasn't really had a all-star year. He's had a good year, but I wouldn't say he had an all-star year. And I feel like this is fan voting, so the reason why he got in there is because they're the number 1 seed and they've been killing. But he hasn't really had an all-star year, if we being honest.
You talk about Mitchell, right?
Yeah, Donovan Mitchell.
And you do have LaMelo as usual.
Yeah, I got LaMelo. I got the exact same 5 as you.
All right, Charles. Let's start with these East reserves, man. Let's go.
Well, first I got Paulo. I got Jaylen Brown, Evan Mobley. I got Dame, Brunson, Trae Young, and then for last but not least, I got Cade Cunningham.
That's not bad. All right. So for my reserves, I do have Jalen Brunson. I got Trae Young. I got Evan Mobley. I got Jaylen Brown. I got Damian Lillard. I do have Cade Cunningham. And the last guy, I'm going to change it at the last minute. I think he does deserve this last spot. Darius Garland. I think he deserves to be an all-star this year, honestly. The only reason why Paulo is in my pick, he missed too many games. That's really it. He missed too many games. If he didn't miss a lot of time, he would be in there easily, but he missed too many games. So I don't think the coaches will put him in there, but he's having he's having a good year, but it's a small sample size. Like I think it's only 13 some games. It's not 20, I know that. But he's having a good year in a small sample size, so I can't really grade you off that. But honestly, though, in my opinion, I got Jalen Brunson because he is one of the reasons why the Knicks are good. His play hasn't gone down, honestly, since Cat been there. He's still averaging 26 points, 48 from the field, 39% from three. He deserves to be in there. And he's been a better passer this year. So yeah, Jalen Brunson deserved it. And the Knicks are third in the East. Trae Young, even though the Hawks are a mediocre team, in my opinion, I can't leave a guy out that's averaging 23 and 12. I can't. I can't leave a guy out that's averaging 23 and 12. Yes, the field goal percentage and the 3-point percentage has gone down. But when you average a 23 and 12 and how we talk about the Hawks should be here and there, he deserves it. I don't think, for some reason, I feel like Trae Young won't get in, but I will put him in my opinion. Evan Mobley, he has been gossing. You know what, Francisco? I did have Tyler Hero as my last pick, and we're being honest. Then I flipped it to Darius Garland. I thought Tyler Hero does deserve it.
I was just saying, yeah, I'm surprised. I would have gave it to Hero over Garland.
Well, I mean, I can literally show you the paper. I do have him down. I do have Tyler Hero down. And I said it was going to be, I said I might change it as soon as we get up here. And that's what I did. I think the Cavs are going to bring in 3 people because they've been so good this year. So I won't be shocked if they bring in 3 people. Evan Mobley, Garland, and Mitchell. But Mobley, 18 and 9, 57% from the field. His offensive game has been great. And I feel like you can't, and he's a reason why they're a top 10 offense, top 10 defense. He deserves to be in there. Jaylen Brown. Jaylen Brown numbers hasn't been the best, but he's still been good. And that's why the obviously the Celtics are second.
I was gonna say
in the
that
East.
was gonna be my question. Would you put somebody over Jaylen Brown? Because Jaylen Brown ain't really had an all-star year. I put him in there because of the team's success. But if we being honest, Tyler Hero has had a better year than him. And
Yeah.
I'll even say Garland had a better year than him too.
No, I get it. Because I felt like when it came down to my last 3, it was either going to be Darius Garland, Tyler Hero, Jared Allen. And I agree that Jaylen Brown, because of the team's success, and he's still having a good year, but maybe not all-star year. I feel like as long as Boston is always going to be at the top of the East, they will always bring in 2 starters no matter what. Well, stars. They will always bring in 2 stars no matter what. Dame, we talked about Dame. Dame is having a bounce back year, and you can see it. He's having a way better year, 25, 4 and 7, 39% from the 3, 41% from the field. He has been amazing. He's been not amazing, but he's been good for the Bucks this year. And I think they will bring in 2 Bucks. Obviously, Cade has been great. He has. He deserves to be in there with how the Pistons are playing. 25, 6 and 9. Hey man, that's some great stats, bro. That's some great stats. And he's shooting 37% from the 3. So the Pistons finally got their guy, and they can finally say they have an all-star in there. And like I said, Darius Garland. You look at the stats, honestly, if you want to compare 24, 5 and 5, 47 from the field, 40 from 3, that's Tyler Hero. Garland is averaging 21, 2 and 6, but Garland is 49 from the field, 42% from 3. It's really kind of identical, honestly. So I feel like you can either pick, but with how the Cavs are playing, how Darius Garland has bounced back, I think the Cavs will bring in 3 starters.
Whole time though, like if Trae don't get in, like you said, I wouldn't be surprised if Trae got in. But I think he would get the nod over like Tyler Hero, only because of Tyler Hero's record. But to be honest with you, I wouldn't be surprised if they brought 4 Cavaliers in there. Because Jared Allen's having a hell of a season too.
He's averaging 14 and 10. He's averaging 14 and 10. I don't think so. 4? Ooh. I can see him being a replacement.
I mean, they did it with the Hawks, so I wouldn't be surprised.
That was replacement.
I mean,
I can see that if anything. If they replace, if there's an injury and replacement, I can see that. But actually voting him in, well, the coaches voting him in, I don't see that. I don't. But I could see them doing 3. I wouldn't be shocked. All right, let's get to these West All-Star starters. As usual, I will start at the guards. I have Shea Gildress-Alexander. At the other guard, I got Steph Curry. In the forwards, it got a little spicy, but LeBron James will be another starter for another year. I got Kevin Durant and I got Nikola Jokic.
Wait, how you say it got a little spicy?
Because you can argue Victor Wembanyama deserves to start too over
Yeah,
any of them. You can argue it.
yeah. Wemby.
There's an argument.
Yeah.
You can really argue it.
But yeah, I mean, you know, it's the fan votes, and those were the top 5 players. So that we already knew who was going to be. Well, because wait,
Go
no, the
ahead, say
top
your
5.
starters. Say your starters. Say
No,
your starters.
my stars are Steph, Shea, KD, Bron, and Jokic. But isn't with the fan votes? It's the top 10 they get to start now, right? The fan votes, right? Because I know Shaq and Chuck and all them, but they picking their teams and stuff. So
Yeah, fan voting is only the starting 5.
so how is Shaq and Chuck gonna pick their teams
Well,
now?
they're the starters. Well, I ain't gonna lie, I don't know. Don't ask me. But it's still
It's
just a
supposed to come out
starter
tonight,
not.
don't
But
it?
it's still the starters is. The
Okay.
starters come out tonight. But since Charles doesn't want to explain his starters, let's
I mean,
go.
bro, they're the top 5 voted in. I mean, Steph, even though Steph hasn't had a great season, Steph is one of the most favorable players in the NBA, most loved players in the NBA, so he's gonna get in. Shea, he's an MVP candidate. He's well more than deserving. KD's KD, he's gonna get in. Bron is Bron, and then Jokic is best player in the world right now.
If Luka was healthy, he would be a starter over Curry, but
Oh,
Luka has
Steph,
been hurt.
yes.
Yes, yeah, I said Curry. So yes, he would be a
Yeah.
starter, but he's not. He won't. He's not going to get a vote from me. All right, let's get to these reserves. Start.
First I got Wemby. Second, I got AD. Then I got Jalen Williams. Then I got Kyrie, Ant, Ja, and then my last one, De'Aaron Fox.
Okay. Okay. All right. So for my reserves, I do have Victor Wembanyama. I have Anthony Edwards. I have Anthony Davis. I have Jaren Jackson Jr.
Mm.
I have Alperen Sengun. My last two, it got a little spicy. This is where it came down to the last 2 spots, in my opinion. But I have DeMontis Sabonis, and I do have James Harden. In my opinion, wait a minute, you don't have no Rocket in there?
Nope.
Wow, that's crazy.
Do you think I don't think Sengun's been the best player on the Rockets this year. I don't think Sengun's having an all-star
Who's been the
year.
best player?
You could argue Min's been better than him, and you can argue Jalen.
Min just got it going, brother. He
And
just
the
got it
man's been
going.
playing good since the beginning of the season, big dog.
That's not that's not true. That's not true. A
Sengun's
men
only
just
averaging.
picked it, but a men just picked it up though. Like we not gonna act like a men been doing this from no, we not gonna do that.
Let's go.
Sengun has
Everything's
been
look.
Sengun has been like this from day one and is the reason why they're number one. You have Ja in there, you know, Ja's missed some time. And I feel like in that time, Jaren Jackson has been just so great. I feel like he had deserved to be an all-star. Jaren
I mean,
Jackson,
go ahead.
no, Jaren Jackson 22, 6 and 2 with 2 blocks. I said, bro, they third in the West. I feel like they deserve, I feel like they have to at least put him there. Ja, like I said, I didn't really look at Ja's stats because I knew I wasn't putting Ja in there regardless. I knew that wasn't gonna happen. Like Ja is averaging 21, 4, and 7. That's really good stats. That's really good stats, but Jaren Jackson, man, you can argue he's been the most consistent, and you can argue he's been the best player on the team all year. Kyrie, I'm not shocked. I'm not really shocked at Kyrie, if we're being honest. And he has been playing great. I think he's been amazing. But it was really between my last 4 is either between J-Dub, Kyrie, Sabonis, and James Harden. I had to choose them. I had to choose from them four, and I chose Sabonis and Harden.
I'm surprised you got Jaren. I would have put Jalen Williams in over Jaren Jackson.
Jaren Jackson been playing better than him this year.
Yeah, but if you gonna reward Darius Garland and them for having the top seed in the East and you put him as a reserve, you got to do the same thing for Jalen Williams then, because he's a big reason why they winning as well. It's not like he's not a key part or a key reason why they number one in the West and the best team in the West, if not the league.
But
So you got to put him in there.
But the thing is with Garland, and I did say it. I said it was between Garland, Tyler Hero, or Jared Allen. That's who it was. If you want to say Tyler Hero been better, cool. I ain't got no problem. Jared Allen, cool, whatever. Garland, cool, whatever. I don't think neither of them clear each other. When you look at the final four, Harden, Sabonis, Kyrie, and J-Dub, I think we can argue J-Dub has not been better than none of those three. I think we can say that.
I mean, J-Dub's had a hell of a year. He's averaging 25 and 5. All his numbers are up, but his field goal percentage is down from 47 to 51 and his free throws, but he's had a better year this year. So I'm giving him the nod. I think he'll get the nod. I put Ja on there because Ja's Ja. I know Ja's missed a lot of games, but I still think that the coaches would still vote him in because it is Ja and his impact on the game and his impact on his team. I still think that the coaches would put him in. Now with Fox, I didn't know if I wanted to put him in there or Sabonis in there. Because Sabonis has been playing really well too, but I think De'Aaron Fox, like he's the engine behind that team. So without him, I don't think that team would be as good as they are. So I gave him a nod over Sabonis. Kyrie's been killing. I'm not mad if you say Kyrie shouldn't make it or not. I'm a little biased on Kyrie, so
we know. Everybody knows, brother. We know. That's why I'm not shocked you put him in there. I'm not shocked. Why don't you have Harden?
I don't think, even though Harden has kept the Clippers afloat, I don't think Harden has played like an all-star. I know I said at the beginning of the season that I thought he was going to go back to the Houston James Harden and have big scoring outputs this year, but he hasn't. Even like I said, even though he kept his team afloat, I don't think he's been playing all-star level. I think Norman Powell has been playing more of a all-star level basketball than him. But yeah, I didn't put James in there because he kept him afloat, but he's not really playing all-star basketball. He's playing solid.
So J-Dub is only in there because of their number one, right? That's really because that's what it sounds.
They're number one, and he's progressed. His scoring is up. His
James Harden
has
played better than him though. Stats wise, he has played better. James Harden is averaging 26 and 8. The field goal percentage is down, is terrible. But stats though, 21, 6 and 8 over 25 and 5.
James Harden is averaging 21, 5 and 8. Where you get 26 from?
No, I said 26 and 8.
20. Oh, you said 26 and 8. Oh, okay.
Yes, that's what
I thought you said 26, 6 and 8.
21, 6 and 8. That's what I'm
saying. J Dub's averaging 25 and 5 on the best team in the league. I mean, and he's gotten better this year, and his team's gotten better. Why he deserves it. I think he deserves it more than James Harden does. You don't agree?
But no, not really. Because once again, when it comes to the final spot, I think Sengun deserves it more over him. Sengun has been amazing. He has. This is the truth. It's just the truth. When it comes to the final, out of Harden, Sabonis, in my four at least, Sabonis, Kyrie, Harden, and Jada. Those three have just been playing better basketball than him. And yes, roles are different. Sabonis is averaging 20, 14, and 6 and shooting 48% from the three and 60% from the field. Sabonis got snubbed last year, so I think he's going to get in this year. I definitely believe that. Kyrie, I said I had no problem with Kyrie. I had no problem. It was I wanted to because when you look at Kyrie 24, 4, and 5, you can't beat that, especially when Luka been hurt. With J-Dub, we talked about it a lot. Scoring hasn't been amazing. If J-Dub was probably averaging 23, probably like 6 and 5, some, that I probably would put him there, but the offense hasn't been like how I thought it was. And I just feel like he just hasn't had a better year. Because I feel like when the reserves, it's a combination of your stats and you are winning. I think it is a combination of both. Because I think when it gets to that, to like the bottom part, because it is kind of like a 2 wild cards. And I think that's when J-Dub, if he does get in, he'll be like a wild card. He won't be the first name. Like when it comes to reserves, it'll probably be Victor.
Yeah, for sure.
So when we get to like the 2 wild cards, that's when it's up for grabs. And that's when, depends on how you feel, that's when you be like, yeah, J-Dub has been, he has gotten the Thunder up there, but maybe some of these guys have just been playing better than him.
Because we
So
being
it just
honest,
depends.
Wemby, AD, and Ant making it for sure. They making it for sure. And it just come down to them last 3.
Like I said, so you only got Ja in there just because that's what it sounded like.
No,
You just got him in
I
there.
think,
Just
I
do it,
think,
Ja, because it's Ja.
yeah, just the
So
job
it's
effect. The
yeah,
job
that's
effect.
what I'm saying. He's in there
The
just
coaches.
because.
I think the coaches are gonna vote him in.
So who has he played better than? Like, has he played better than Sabonis?
No,
Has he played better than Harden? Or about the same?
about the same. They about the same.
Has he been playing better than Kyrie?
They about the same.
Like I said, Sengun, you have to reward a rocket. You have to reward one, especially like this, where it comes in. The Rockets were not supposed to be here. Sengun has gotten them at the top of the West. You have to reward a rocket. Jalen Green, don't think so, but Sengun, in my opinion, I think he deserves to
I,
be in there.
see, the reason why I'm not so high on Sengun, because I know we all know Sengun is nice, but I don't think he's the sole reason why they're at where they're at. Because
I don't think
first and
so either.
foremost, their defense is where where they are, and he's not the anchor on their defense at all. He's not the focal point of their defense. He's not the second option of their defense. And so like, yeah, the 20 and 10 and 5, those are, I mean, I'm rounding up to 20, but the 19, 10 and 5, those are great numbers. I don't think that he's been playing. I don't think he has been playing all-star basketball, but I don't think he deserves a nod over some other of those people. Like you said,
He's
they probably will give it to him because they're winning and no one expected them to be where they're at, and he's the best player on that team. But I don't think he's the sole reason
he's
why
the
they get.
main reason, though. He is the main reason. He's the number one reason. Like, that's true. That's just facts. He's the number one reason.
I'll say the number one reason is defense. First, that's it. Because they've won games when they've closed lineups with Steven Adams and won games. So if Steven Adams was healthy, I'm not saying if you took Sengun off that team and replaced him with Steven Adams, I think that team would still have the same success. Because Jalen Green would just have to do more, and all those other players have to step up. Fred have to step up his scoring, and their defense is still good. So I think
So
they'll
they would
still
be
be around
second
the
in the
same.
West. They would be second in the West with
No, it wouldn't be
Steven
second in the
Adams.
West.
All right, then.
No,
So
they
they
wouldn't be
wouldn't be
second
the
in the
same
West.
then. So they would not be the same
I
then.
think they'd be a 4 or 5 team though, for sure.
But they're not. So we're second in the West. He is the number one reason why. If defense, cool, understandable. But if Sengun isn't having this all-star type year he's having, like, we don't know where they would be at. We winning. They would probably be at 4 or 5. Sengun, you have to put a rock in there for being second in the West. I feel like you have to do that. Like, you just have to. You don't have Jared Jackson, do you?
Mm-mm. I don't have that at
But you
all.
got Ja?
Yeah, I got Ja.
I don't get it. I'm confused. All right. So a guy that missed time, who hasn't played better than the guy, but you have him over there. It's not about
I
what the
mean,
coach. It's about what you've done. What is your picks?
I still would give Ja the nod over Jaren Jackson
It
Jr.
sounds like
I
popularity
mean,
though. It sounds like he's just popular to him
Jaren Jackson is averaging 22, 6, and 2.
with 2 blocks.
Ja's averaging
With two
and
blocks,
2 blocks, and Ja's averaging 21, 4, and 7. Like
and it's
if
missed a
you
lot
if
of,
we
and it's missed a lot of time. You have to add that in there too.
but if we being honest, when they've both been on the floor together, they've been playing the same. Like the Grizzlies, if the Grizzlies are a good overall team, that's why they kept winning games. That's why they're at the spot that they're at. That's why they were able to win games without Ja, because they have a good balanced overall team. Like Jaren Jackson, if Jaren Jackson was averaging 26 and 27 while Ja was gone, yes, by all means, Jaren Jackson can get that All-Star nod. But I think Ja would get it over him.
Just because it's Ja. Not because he's playing better, but just because he's Ja.
They're playing about the same. When they've played about the same.
Overall, who has been playing better?
They've been playing the same.
Once
I've said it 3
again,
times already.
overall, when you add everything with games played, who has been the most consistent? Who has played better overall?
Jaren Jackson has been the most available. I've told you they've played the same.
22, 6, and 2 with 2 blocks over 21, 4, and 7 with probably a steal. And Jaren Jackson has kept them all the way up there. Like, you don't reward that for a guy keeping the team third in the West when your best player stays hurt all the time. You can't reward that.
I mean, Josh played 26 games, but he's played at least half the game, over half the games. Over half the game. So it's not like Josh only played 10 games and Jaren Jackson has played every single game. Like, no. Like, come on now. When they've played, when Josh played and Jaren Jackson has played, they've played the same. They played exactly the same.
Why is Paulo in
And
this
I
game?
think Paulo, because you gotta reward a Magic player. So you telling me you wouldn't reward a Magic's player?
Hell no,
Like
they've been hella time. Hell no. No. Hell no.
And then I think the coaches like Paulo, so I think they're gonna give him a nod just off the strength of that.
Hell no.
And then Paulo was number 4 in fan voting.
How many
for the
games?
front court.
How many games has Paulo played?
Paulo's only played. He's played 11. He's played 11 this year.
Come on, brother. Be serious. You're rewarding the guy for playing 11 games. Be serious. This just sounds like you just love him. That's what it sounds like.
My glorious king.
Yeah. I mean, that's what it sounds like. So you think Tyler Hero don't deserve it over him?
No, Tyler Hero does. Tyler Hero does. Tyler Hero has been hooping. He deserves it over Paulo.
Jared Allen?
Yeah, I give it to him over Jared Allen.
You got Darius Garland in there?
No, I don't got Darius Garland there.
So he deserves
I only
it
think
over him?
I only think they're gonna send 2 Cavs players. Yeah, Darius Garland, he deserves over Darius Garland deserves it over him.
Then why do you have it? Then why aren't one of them?
Because I think the coaches are gonna.
Who cares about what the coaches? This is you. This is what you think,
and that's what I think the reserves are gonna be.
So basically, okay. Wait a minute. Why hasn't Luka in there then?
Because Luka missed damn near. First off,
don't do that. Don't do that, brother.
We are not doing that. First off, Paulo's in the East and Luka's in the West.
Oh my God.
The West is way more stacked than the East.
Luka has played 22 games.
And the West is way more stacked than the East.
No, don't do that. Don't do that. Don't do that, brother. Don't do that. This is when we come back to being consistent. Because you just said Luka has missed a lot of games. So once again, Paulo has played a lot of games,
and there's a lot of players. There's a lot of good guards. You still have Kyrie, Ant, Ja, Fox. Who else does Paulo have to have to compete with in the East?
The last three I named. You just said Thurston over them. You just said that. What are we doing?
We're talking about forwards here. They got to put on the reserve. That's like having
no,
all guards as a reserve.
No,
They're
you
gonna have at
don't.
least
No, you don't. It just depends on what the coach. It don't have to be like 4 forwards. It don't gotta be like that. It don't really gotta be like that. That was only for the starters. You know, it got to be 2 guards, 2 forwards, and a center at one point. Now it's just forwards and guards. No, it don't. It don't gotta be like that.
They're not gonna put a reserve of all guards, my nigga. Bro, they're gonna have some forwards and bigs on that reserve roster.
You making excuses. Okay. So Paulo only deserves to be in there just because you got to put a forward.
And he's fourth in fan voting on the
what
front
does fan voting
side.
have to do? What does fan voting got to do with reserves? That don't got nothing to do with
it. Because the coaches know people want to see him. The coaches like him, so I think they're gonna put him in there. These are my reserves. These who I think are going to be the reserves.
Even though he don't really deserve it.
The same reason why Sabonis deserved it last year, but he didn't get it. He got snubbed. Players get snubbed every single year.
The man has played 11 games. What are we doing? You're giving somebody who has played 11 games? Are you serious? Over a guy who Tyler Hero has played better than? He's not better than him. I don't want nobody to say that. This year so far, he has played better than him because he has played 40-something games. Same with Garland, same with Allen. What are we doing? But Luka, you tried to pull that. He missed it. Like, no, you tried to pull that. You tried. They ain't gonna say something. You got to go up against you. No, we ain't trying. You be trying to pull this nonsense. You know damn well Paulo don't deserve to be in there. You're being biased just a little bit. Not all the way, but you're being biased. He does not deserve to be there after 11 games. Because if that's the case, Luka need to be in there. Because he's played 22. And you giving Ja who's played 26. So it just sounds like you just putting people in there just because of name recognition. That's what it sounds like, not for who actually deserves to be in there.
These are who I think my reserves are going to be, big dog.
Francisco, this man, he gonna say they deserve to be in there, but Paulo deserves it over them, and he's only played 11 games. But whatever. That is it for our all-star starters and reserves.